Oh gosh, this is probably me digging a deeper hole, but I've been reading up on espionage tactics since I was very young and discovering how horribly misperceived their anti heroicism is through this slick ass James Bond personification, which I already didn't like very much based on his womanization of female operatives, frankly. Um, but if you know, you're concerned, you know, I have no discrimination ideologically, racially, implicatively towards these individuals. They all really anger me. They are all the most sick, corrupt bastards on the planet, in my opinion. The future of espionage should be done through hacking remotely and not place people into assets and liabilities, um, whether it's army based guerrilla diplomacy with locals for intel. If you really got some balls, get your job done, do your thing, figure it out, educate, rationalize, and I mean maybe it makes sense in militia-based rebellions and stuff like that, which really, you should probably, for PR reasons, not put yourself in the middle of. We're all capable of cultivating rational righteousness for variable cause from a local standpoint. Um, you know, I, Hollywood's been doing a fairly good job at cultivating real depictions of how modern secrets are vindicated and validated. But again, this is the one industry I have the most contempt uh, for obvious reasons. But if for some reason me not being associated or variably identifiable by any of these COVID operators, uh, you know, just cut it out. You don't need to do all that crap. Just let Elon make a global internet. We can all educate each other holistically, culturally, and stop playing silly games over whose ancestry, culture, and variable interest and symbolic interpretation throughout different forms and times is cooler, better, interesting, whatever, vibrant in appearance. It's whatever. Uh, we're coming to an age where James Bond field agents are unnecessary, in my opinion. Um, Strategic Rainbow Sixes still will be necessary, I'm sure. But we're talking about intel, espionage, variables of this interest. In its roughest state, it was Roosevelt's cousin beginning propagandist coups to displace Allah and leaving us where we are today. Just don't microwave uh, uh, slow bakes. You can't make yeast rise faster. Um, I mean, by economic principles, it will on its own. Anyways, I'm getting out of proportion of rational thought here, getting into the moody bread theory or something. Although it was actually principle and geographical development, not racial colors and silliness. Just don't do it anymore. So cut out the field agencies. Go to analysts. And if you really are going to pry on people because you really think they're doing something that secretive and, I don't know, eventually masterful to take too dominant a position over how the governmental placement of cooperative necessities is variably necessitative. Just play fair, guys. You know, when I was a camp counselor, I had to learn I couldn't do anything the children couldn't do because it would make the children be like, well, why can't I buy a soda at the laser tag place? I felt bad. My head camp counselor was like, don't buy soda. All the kids are gonna want to buy soda. And don't give big gift packages to only your campers. Then all the counselors are gonna look like dicks for not giving big gift packages to their their kids. You know, I had to learn. I was young. I was my first year of being a camp counselor. You know, I gave them goodie bags at the end. I paid them all off to grease their hair back. How ironic that was at the time. For our end of year roast, where we're supposed to roast all of our camp kids, which they loved me for because I didn't grasp the nature of a roast. I thought it was a guessing game into characteristics where people could guess who I was talking about. And it didn't hurt my kids' feelings. I just chose to make a roast a guessing game instead of a humiliation and guessing game in one. I paid them off with brownies to everybody slick their hair back because I wanted to show uniformity amongst the kookaburras, which was I had the 9 to 10 kids, still in elementary school. I don't know why I did that. I just wanted everyone to look like they were trying to have a simple haircut to show respect to a ceremonious occasion for the camp. I wanted them to look slicker than normal. I wanted them all to know I loved them with pictures, framed pictures of our group together with goodie bags to show them I love them. And I know now not to buy fountain sodas at the laser tag place unless I can buy them for all the camp kids. But I don't know, just think about that, okay? And when I read them Harry Potter, despite trying to teach them how to read, they realized I was not a good out loud reader still. And so I got CDs to read Harry Potter to them. You know, if they're going to let me get away with it in school, they should be allowed to let me get away with it as a camp counselor, as having been one of these kids at this very camp, only in a Maryland version for younger kids as opposed to an older one that was all based on outdoor activities in Durango. So anyways, I learned a lot from summer camp. But, I don't know, I've sort of lost my place in this one. Anyways, screw anybody who doesn't think I'm good with kids. I'm great with kids. Wonderful with kids. Personally, I'm not that ambitious to take on the challenge of raising a child anymore. But I don't know. We'll see how things go.